have a drummer. Well, Casey Jones, he was a mighty man. Now he's resting in the promised land. The only kind of music he could understand was a big eight-wheeler under his command. He made a freight train boogie all the time. He made the freight train boogie as he rode down the line. When the firemen started ringing the bell, everybody along the line could tell that Casey Jones, he was a coming to town with a big eight-wheeler, was burning the ground. He made a freight train boogie all the time. He made the freight train boogie as he rode down the line. Wake up the people all along the line. Oh Lord, how the man made the whistle whine. He said to the conductor, better hold your feet. We're gonna make this rattler do the boogie. He made a freight train boogie all the time. He made the freight train boogie as he rode down the line. He made the freight train boogie as he rode down the line. This is a song that I actually did it when I came in November, and it's fairly recent, and I was telling Joel that I actually thought I stole this song because it was inspired. As it turns out, I didn't steal it. I've heard the original, and it's not that similar, but it was inspired by a song written by Jordan Reisner, and I used to noodle on that song just because I loved the vibe of it, and over the years the folk process made it into something entirely different, and I put lyrics to it about a year or so ago. It's inspired by the idea of as we age, we show the signs of our age, and we get the lines on our faces, and they bother some people, and I love them. I think that we earn every single one of them. That's right, they're all earned. And so that's what inspired the song. It's called The Story of Our Love. Of an autumn night, with stars soft as candlelight, I catch a glimpse of those smiling eyes that won me long ago. Our faces carry all the years we've seen and all the places we've ever been. A map of love, and I love every line. They are the story of our lives. Through all the years that we've loved and fought, and all the times we thought we'd rather not, you were too stubborn to just walk away, and I never could just cut and run. These aren't just lines, there are memories of who we were and what we dreamed of being. And now the mirror holds our history and the story of our love. Ah, come on, just have one dance with me. The band is playing our song. There's something about this melody makes me want you in my arms. And though the skies above weren't always blue, there's just something about me and you. With you I dance the whole night through. That's the story of our love. Mr. Z. Just have one dance with me. They're playing our old song. There's something about this melody makes me want you in my arms. And though the skies above weren't always blue, there's just something about me and you. With you I dance the whole night through. That's the story of our love. You know it only could be you. The story of our love.
Boy, folks, let me tell you something. What a pleasure it is to be working with these fellas. One's a Bobby Dazzler and one's a ring-tailed peeler. I'm going to let you guess which is which, but I just want to say it's a real joy. I walked in here the first time as a unlined-faced 19-year-old. I just turned 64, and nice to see you boys here again. And all of you as well. Anyway, I wish I'd written this opening piece for me a long time ago. It seems so simple, remarkably so. I should have thought of this long ago. It has a part for you, and I think you'll enjoy this. Your line will be very simple. You'll look at one another, and you'll sort of whisper as if you didn't want me to hear. You'll say, "That's the way he is." And I'll go like this. That'll be your signal. But are you going to be all right then?
I think so.
All right. So maybe if you could just try that, make sure you've got it in your heads. That's the way he is. All right? So this is called a jingle for the new verisimilitude, and it goes like this. That's the way I am. That's just the way I am. You'll have to get yourselves used to it. That's all. That's the way I am. That's the way he is. Well, now, I'm a trifle old-fangled at last report. Short for a tall man, tall for a short. I've arrived with a bell, a book, and candle, and truth to tell, I'm not that hard to handle, and that's the way I am. Well, that's just the way I am. You'll have to get yourselves used to it, that's all. That's the way I am. That's the way he is. Yes, I've been at this romp since I wore knee pants. A little less pomp than circumstance. Stand before you now in trousers with a sack of socknologists, cast-off keepers, knee slappers, weepers, and rabble-rousers, and that's the way I am. Well, that's just the way I am. You'll have to get yourselves used to it. That's all. That's the way I am. That's the way it is. You said it. Any better ideas? Well, I've got none. This is just what I do and the way it gets done. You know, it's all about the poetry, ladies and gents. And let no offense be taken, for there's none meant, because that's the way I am. Well, that's just the way I am. You'll have to get yourselves used to it. That's all. That's the way I am. That's the way it is. It's like you knew me. That's the way I am. Thank you. Montreal, is it? Well, I knew that. You know, walking around, I find walking around town, and I haven't lived here since 1974, but I have come back a number of times, and I always feel, are you going to be all right?
I've got what she has.
I feel I'm coming down with something.
Stereo.
Anyhow, it's felt to me the last several days I've been here like I'm an extra in a Jacques Tati movie. You can't get that feeling anywhere else in Canada. So I'm quite enjoying my stay. And that's why I'm going to read this one for you. It's called Long Live the Difference. And when this is done, you boys will be up, so be ready. I'm just going to take a sip of that.
Oh, now I'm nervous.
Tap water. The finest. Long live the difference. I want to be a Frenchman and sport a boutonniere. Let me know esprit de corps with avant-garde confrère. I want to speak in double entendre and observe noblesse oblige. I wish to commit faux pas like a real enfant terrible. See me seated in a bistro, an old habitué having pie served à la mode, while I wore a negligee. I hope that's the word I want. I've been away a while. Well, I soon would take a nom de plume and with it get carte blanche, which might uncork the ooh la la for my pièce de résistance. And now my speech would drip with nuance. I'd make some raconteur. My repartee would carry the day whilst ordering the hors d'oeuvre. Ooh, voila, how chic to be all nonchalance to shrug and at blasé. Say, I feel I'd make a swell bête noire, or at least one's protégé, and when I got done with being gauche, I'd show my joie de vivre and use French doors in my decor, which is de rigueur, I do believe. Then, with a sense of déjà vu, I'd taste pâté de foie. With après-ski, a rendezvous up to its denouement. Oh, that reminds me of a little story. If I could just squeeze it in here, I hope I can remember it. Seems like a couple, a semi-bilingual couple. He was French-speaking and she was not. And they had been quarreling, you see, and oh my, she was waiting for him to begin to make up. And he made this attempt. He said, "Ma chérie, je t'adore." And she said, "Oh, shut it yourself. You're the one left it open." Then, bon voyage, I'd bid adieu and toss my blue beret. That's the word I was meant. The savoir-faire I'd shown where'er would appear in my resume. For you see, it's always Frenchmen who seem so debonair, who speak of raison d'être whilst sighing, c'est la guerre. That's why I want to be a Frenchman, a real live bon vivant. To have, how do you say, what's that cliche, that old, I don't know what.
Can I trouble someone to fill one of these up for me with more water, please?
Can you remember that the hot and cold water taps are reversed from where you
Yeah, the one on the
normally
left
expect them.
would be better.
You want cold?
Excuse me. I've got what she has, and I'm taking some fairly entertaining drugs to try and keep it under control, which makes me feel a lot like 40 years ago. Funny how that works. You know, some of you it may resonate with you, the thought that sometimes men just don't get it. And I've been told this a lot, you know, I mean, I'm married. And so this is a song, a little bit of a thank you to her. Yeah. I'll try to cough at the end of the song. So much for that. Excuse me. Well, put another log on the fire. Cook me up some bacon and some beans. Go out to the car and change the tire. You can wash my socks and sew my old blue jeans. Come on, baby, you can light my pipe, then go fetch my slippers and boil me up another pot of tea. I'm losing it. And put another log on the fire, baby, and come and tell me why you're leaving me. Well, don't I let you wash the car on Sundays? And don't I warn you when you're getting fat? Well, ain't I gonna take you fishing with me someday? Hell, a man can't love a woman more than that. And ain't I always nice to your kid sister? And don't I take her driving every night? So sit here at my feet, 'cause I like it when you're sweet. And you know it ain't feminine to fight. And you can put another log on the fire and cook me up some bacon and some beans. Go out to the car and lift it up and change the tire. You can wash my socks and sew my old blue jeans. Come on, baby, you can light my pipe and then go fetch my slippers and boil me up another pot of tea and put another log on the fire, baby, and come and tell me why you're leaving me. I said you can put another log on the fire, baby, and come and tell me why you're leaving me. Okay, from the ridiculous to the sublime, I guess here. This next one came from an image that was brought to me by my friend Doug, who wrote some of this, so we share this, of this little spot in the southwest corner of Ireland. And it faces out to the ocean. Small little hamlet that never had many people in it and seemed to only get smaller and smaller because all that people did, the kids in particular, was leave. And either they would leave to go to war or they would leave to find work because there certainly wasn't any there. And I just had this image of that place because there was a lot of stuff going on around that time. People lose children for a variety of reasons. Some of them tragic, and some of them just challenging, and some of them just the way of life. And so this was what inspired this song. It's called "Speak to Me in Dreams." Chairs once heard children's laughter, and now there's only you and me. Take my hand and let's just watch the sunrise. Try to remember how to be. This old house has been beaten by the weather that rolls in hard off the sea. Be safe, my little sweetheart, and speak to me in dreams. And they go, and we know not where, like seabirds far from the shore. They sail away on an ocean of time, and we will see them no more. See the day, diamonds in the sunlight, hear the wind singing in the trees, like a voice calling across the water. Speak to me in dreams. shore. They sail away on an ocean of time, and we will see them no more. Hand in hand, the sunset steals the daylight, and the wind whispers through the trees like a voice calling across the water. Speak, speak to me in dreams.
I made a remark the last time I was leaving the stage here back in November. We were all at the big 50th reunion, and then I came to do the Friday night feature myself. And I said, I remember as I left the stage, I said, the next time I come here, I'll be an old man. I didn't think I'd be back within 6 months. I did have time between tonight and my previous last engagement to grow this little bit of a chin whiskerage. Anyway, I'd like to read you a piece about my grandmother. This is the title piece from a book of mine that's just coming out. It's just undergoing the printing process now, and I hope to have it out later on in the summer. And it's going to be called "When My Grandmother Cleans My Room," and a good 5 dozen other poems and 1 recipe for cornmeal mush. So you can look for that. But here's a little poem that inspired a lot of my life. It's called "When My Grandmother Cleans My Room." Oh, before I read it, too, there's a word in there that you may not get, and I didn't want you to hear the word whomper-jawed, and have that put you off. Now, here's the handkerchief that I have with me for various purposes, but I can also, if it were folded this way, and if I had that would be that's all whomper-jawed, my grandmother would say, as opposed to, the proper, the corners meet. And now that's a properly folded handkerchief. So I thought that was important. Some people would have produced an egg from that, but I don't. Anyway, when my grandmother cleans my room, she plies her dusting cloth and broom. She makes my bed the way she says it must be made, instead of the way I hastily do. She straights the etchings on my walls, and if need be, shines my shoes. I know she refolds my underclothes when grandmother cleans my room. I can tell when she's been through. She tidies up my books and many papers that I strew about my busy tabletop. My works in progress she'll peruse. With pencil firm, she will suggest, "Don't try to be too clever, son. This doesn't sound like you." Or better still, she sometimes puts, "Your grandpa would be proud of you." Well, she's frank whene'er my poems are flawed. If my handkerchiefs were whomper-jawed, let me know that too. Grandmother wants the best for me, and so she cleans my room. All right, let's go over to the other side of the family. This is about one of my great-grandfathers. His name was Charlie Quinn, and he grew up. He was born in Peel County, Ontario, west of Toronto, and was raised in Rochester, New York. And then, as a younger man, he and his dad moved to Tilbury, Ontario, and had a farm there. Now, they call him a farmer, but if there were chores to be done, Charlie Quinn was not the easiest fella to locate. He subscribed to the I'll read you. "Tell you what I like the best, long about knee-deep in June, about the time strawberries melts on the vine some afternoon. I like to just get out and rest, not work at nothing else." Well, that was Charlie Quinn for you. But the difference came if there was a dance or a party to attend. Well, then, he became a very different sort of individual. Yes, indeed. And so someone described my great-grandfather, Charlie Quinn, on his way to one of these dances. And they told how as he was going along, he could produce a match and a cigar from nowhere and strike the match on the sole of his shoe and get the cigar lit within 4 steps without breaking stride at all. And I could almost see it, but I had to write it out. And I'm going to read you my description of this. It's called the Tilbury, Ontario man lights cigar, attends local function, has good time. And there is a point in this, and I'll indicate it, where I'd like you to close your eyes. It's better to visualize what is taking place, all right? Now, this feat may have been witnessed on dozens of occasions by hundreds of people, or an idle bystander may have seen it just the once and appreciated the flourish. Either way, anyone who saw him coming those Saturday nights, all mustache and derby and kneecaps, could tell he was not thinking about his great-great-great-grandchildren, not much. Still, some way they've been handed down in this picture. Not a snapshot, no, but a few feet of silent film, let's say, showing him as lively once as a string of firecrackers on a dark road, or a rooster with a hat on, juggling the hen's eggs. As lively as that, yes, and who will say that he wasn't, But that's him now. Charlie Quinn in his heyday. Man of purpose in full swing, all spiffed up for the harvest dance, gallivanting up Queen Street in 1885, shoulders back, eyebrows arched. You can't hear it, but he's got on corduroy pants and hard shoes on a plank sidewalk. He's a drum roll, a commotion, and here's what he doesn't know. 2 times a Catholic husband and father of 9 to be, already bucking to the tune he wants to hear. A pan of corn about to pop, and now, 2 blocks from the hoopla, this is it. Watch him. Within 1, 2, 3, 4 quick strides. Close your eyes here, please. Produce with the left-handed cheroot from his inside right coat pocket and clench it, 1 in his teeth. Thereupon with the right hand draw a wood match from his hatband and poise it, 2, before his avid eye. See with a downward stroke on the sole of his upraised left brogan how he strikes the match and cups the flame, 3, with the left hand and inhales smoothly, sparking his cigar with 4, no break in step or loss of kick. Okay, try this yourself, and then try it again. It took him some practice behind the barn. Oh, you could have opened your eyes by now, by the way. And even now you can tell. He wanted it known he was no clod kicker, but a dancing man. And so, one flickering glimpse, preserved on eyes long shut, giving us the reveler, the enthusiast, the dashing young gossoon, and the whiff of smoke that recalls him, hot-footing by.
Which one is this?
Little Girl.
Yeah, okay.
This is a song about a case of mistaken identity. Very serious. Little girl, you better stop talking in your sleep. Little girl, you better stop talking in your sleep. Well, you're calling out names I know doggone well ain't me. Little girl, you better stop smiling when you dream. Little girl, you better stop smiling when you dream. Well, you're thinking about another, that's just the way it seems. Now when I told you what you said when you were talking last night, the first thing you do is want to fuss and fight. You roll and tumble while you're talking in your sleep. You're laughing and you're sighing what you dream that must be sweet. Little girl, you better stop talking in your sleep. Oh, you're calling out names I know doggone well ain't me. Well, you called me Jack, Mike, Pete, Sam, Tom, Joe. I can't take it no more. Little girl, you better stop talking in your sleep. Well, you're calling out names I know doggone well ain't me. Good. Joe, Randy, Mark, Jody, Tom, Joe. I can't take it no more, little girl, little girl. You better stop talking in your sleep. Oh, you're calling out names I know doggone well ain't me. Here's a song that came out of a long time on the road. I blew into town like a house on fire. 10,000 miles and 3 months away from home. Just 3 more weeks, this'll all be over. I'm gonna let some moths gather on this stone. I'm gonna eat my own food from my own cupboard. I've had my fill of all these planes and cars and trains. 'Cause it's been burgers and basements and backroom arrangements for months now. Hell, it ain't no wonder why I act so strange. Yes, I think I'll just get normal for a change. I used to think the road was so romantic, to wear my wounds like medals on my chest. I never thought I'd ever get this frantic, just to stop and sit a while and rest. But it'll all seem clearer from a distance, as the mountain is to the climber from the plain. And the streets of this town are cold and icy, so I'm going home as soon as it can be arranged. Yes, I think I'll just get normal for a change. Women that I heard for no good reason, that really wasn't what I had planned to do. We just met at the wrong place in the wrong season, but the loss was mine, was a reprieve for you. Don't expect to get no frequent letters. It never was my style to fan the flames. I'll be back just as soon as I am able. Just don't ask me when, it's way, way out of range. Yes, I think I'll just get normal for a change. Yes, I think I'll just get normal for a change.
there, Danny. Was that your song? Did you?
It was.
Oh, it's a lovely piece. And I think this is the advantage we have of working in this back and forth way, but because it dovetails right into what I was going to do anyway.
Well, there you go.
And it's, there was a time for about 9 years, and that wasn't all that long ago, when I never gave a performance. I never wrote a line. I thought I was done with all this. But to think that I'm here tonight, golly, it feels good. So I'm going to leave you with this. It's by the great hobo poet Henry Herbert Nibbs. Now that's spelled with a K and 2 B's.
Henry?
Let me check. No, all that's in the Nibs. K-N-I-B-B-S, Nibs. And he wrote this one, and I must have read this 1,000 times here and there, maybe even here. And I'm going to read it for you now, and I'll read it somewhere else later on in my life. Nothing to do but go. I'm the wandering son, with the nervous feet that never were meant for a steady beat. I've had many a job for a little while. I've been on the bum and I've lived in style, but there was the road, stretching mile after mile, and nothing to do but go. So beat it, Bo, while your feet are mates. Take a good look at Canada, the Congo, Israel, Belgium, Schenectady, the whole United States. There's a little fire in the pipe at night, and up again when the morning's bright, with nothing but road and sky in sight, and nothing to do but go. So beat it, Bo, while the going's good, while the birds in the trees are sawing wood. If today ain't the finest for you and for me, well, then there's tomorrow that's going to be, and the day after that that's coming, see, and nothing to do but go. Then beat it, Bo, while you're young and strong, and see all you can, 'cause it won't last long. You can tarry for only a little spell on the long gray road to fare ye well that leads to heaven or somewhere swell, and there's nothing to do, oh by golly, but go. And nowhere to go but everywhere. So this is Peter Paul Van Camp closing off my portion of the entertainment, saying across your paths may sunbeams play, and let's do this again sometime. All righty, let's do this again.
I'll leave you with this one. I really want to thank Joel Zifkin on the violin.
Yes,
The rest of the band, Mr. Peter Paul Van Camp on the brushes. And all of you, thank you. It's really nice to do this. Nice song for a fall day like today. Just the other day, a wayward wind blew over me, a strange and rearranging wind that whispers through the trees. The sun began to slip away, the sky began to fade, and everything that caught my eye threw a different shade. The neon stars departed toward a separate hemisphere. Night fell right before me as a yellow moon appeared. The very thought of winter scattered frost across the land, and noted for its absence was the nearness of your hand. The days seem long, and nighttime too. I seldom sleep that I don't dream of you. Oh, the things I've done, you know I can't undo. Summer's gone and now the autumn leaves are blue. Days seem long, and nighttime too. I seldom sleep, but I don't dream of you. the things I've done, you know I can't undo. Summer's gone and now the autumn leaves, the gentle swirl of autumn leaves. Summer's gone and now the autumn leaves are blue. Thank you all very much.